I moved into tech actually fairly early on in my career. I don't have a technical background at all. Actually, my degree is in translation. Really interested in how to write for the right audience and how to get somebody to understand what it is that you're able to do for them. So I actually did 23 years in competitive tendering, running massive global bids, competitive bids, and writing to win, basically, writing to make sure the customer understood what we could do for them. And I ran a team doing that. So I moved into the Foreign Office as the account director. It was a big career change for me in 2019. So I am not a technical person in the tech environment. I'm a people person who is interested in communications and making sure that customers really understand the quality they're getting from us. So it is in effect translation of its own type, really. I'm a big believer in being a visible leader, and so although there's a lot of kind of paperwork type, reporting type activities that I have to do as a result of the role, I very rarely say no when someone needs to talk about something that's important to them. So I would say probably, yesterday's a great example. I spent 45 minutes on the phone to a relatively junior member of staff who I'm hoping will remain with us for quite a long time. He's had a fantastic track record, but felt it might be time to move on. We've just put him into a different project. I wanted to check in with him to see whether he's still comfortable, to tell him that, that we would support him if he wanted to move on, but that we hope he'll stay longer. So it's a real variety of people related, both customer, back into BAE, and then the individuals in my team kind of activities. I struggle to find a female role model that I've had. In fact, I still struggle with that today. And I think there is an element that worries me around you can't be what you can't see, that I think has probably held me back in some ways, although clearly, I'm responsible for 100 or so people, not exactly junior anymore. But in terms of female role models, I have struggled. Male role models, I've been really lucky, particularly in BAE Systems, to have some very open-minded male leaders, and mentors actually, that have basically told me to crack on and that to believe in myself more. BAE Systems was a real revelation to me from that perspective. My previous place that I worked for 18 years, I was there when I had maternity leaves and had my children. And on my first maternity leave, I had to find someone to fill my shoes, someone to do my job while I was going to be away. I was only going to be off 6 months. The gentleman who took my job while I was away decided when I got back that he didn't want to give it back. And nobody made him, because their attitude was, well, she's only going to have another baby anyway, so you stay there, Gordon, and you keep, and Joe, you just work for Gordon and it'll all be fine. And you know what? In the early noughties, that was okay. So in terms of role models, it has been more about actually watching and learning from the more modern thinking, forward thinking men, actually, than females. International Women's Day this year, I choose to challenge all the people that work in my organisation to consider themselves and each other 100% equals, to be sharing their views, to be sharing their ideas, so that we're working together as a really diverse and inclusive team. And I challenge people to perceive single gender teams, for example, as a risk to delivery. I challenge people to see that a single viewpoint or having too many people with the same perspective is a risk to the way that we deliver, to the way that project outcomes appear, to how people feel, to the end result. And that the more diverse we are and the more we involve all different types of thinking, gender, race, etc., the more likely we are to deliver a really successful output.